इंतखाब और मैं हूं आपका पेशकार आपका मेज़बान राजा खुशनूद खान और पेश करता हूं प्रोग्राम मसला क्या है हर जुमेरात शाम 6 बजे ता 8 बजे और सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ इंतहाई शुक्रगुजार हूँ मशकूर हूँ ममनून हूँ और मकरूज़ हूँ अपने नौजवान बासलाहियत साथी पेशकार मेज़बान होस्ट एंकर जनाब नासिर राव साहिब का जो कि ड्राइव टाइम शो पेश कर रहे थे और हमेशा की तरह जो दुखते हुए और जो आपके जलते हुए मसाइल हैं जो सुलगते हुए मसाइल हैं उनको ज़ेरे बहस लाते हैं और उनका साथ दे रहे थे निभा रहे थे द वन एंड ओनली हिस्ट्री मैन मतलूब हुसैन अली खान एक बार फिर नासिर राव का बहुत-बहुत शुक्रिया और सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ मैं उम्मीद करता हूं आप जहां कहीं हैं खुश होंगे खुर्म होंगे और सेहतमंद होंगे प्रोग्राम का बाकायदा आगाज़ अल्लाह के मुबारक नाम से शुरू करना चाहता हूँ सब तारीफ़ें अल्लाह ताला के लिए हैं जो दो जहानों का मालिक है सारे जहानों का मालिक है खालिक है राज़िक है रहीम है करीम है और उसके बाद हो दरूद ऊपर रसूल मकबूल सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम पर जो कि इमाम उल अंबिया हैं खातम उल नबीयीन हैं और रहमतुल लिल आलमीन हैं इसके बाद सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ वकार हस्बे दस्तूर मैं उर्दू की ख़बरें आपको सुनाना चाहता हूँ और ये जो उर्दू की ख़बरें हैं ये अख़बार जंग पाकिस्तान से ली गई हैं पहली ख़बर यह है कि अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा भारत को कश्मीरियों की नस्ल कुशी से रोके दफ्तर ख़ारजा अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी के मेन्यू से गोश्त पर पाबंदी इलेक्शन कमीशन ने पीएसपी को कौमी परचम इस्तेमाल करने से रोक दिया और इससे पहले की खबर अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी के मेन्यू से गोश्त गायब मैं तस्हीह करना चाहता हूं उस पर पाबंदी नहीं है वो गायब है अरब लीग सरबराह इजलास अरब ममालिक में बैरूनी मुदाखलत की मजम्मत दहशतगर्दी को इस्लाम से ना जोड़ा जाए अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा हुसैन हक़ानी का मज़मून इनके किरदार पर रियासती अदारों के तहफ़्फ़ुज़ात की तस्दीक और मौक़िफ़ की तायद है फ़ौजी तर्जुमान इमरान फारूक कत्ल केस मुल्ज़मान पर फ़र्द जुर्म के लिए नई तारीख मुकर्रर मर्दमशुमारी के 1/4 हिस्से पर काम मुकम्मल बहीरा अरब में काई से समुद्री हयात को खतरा साद रफीक के दौर में ट्रेन के 14 से ज़ायद बड़े हादसात पाकिस्तान और वेस्ट इंडीज दूसरे T20 में आज मद्दे मुकाबल इटली सोने से बने महंगे तरीन जूते गैरत के नाम पर कत्ल की वारदातें ना रुकीं कानून बस नाकाम रह गया नाकारा रह गया जियो न्यूज़ और डॉक्टर आसम की ज़मानत का मामला लटक गया और सामीन और नाज़रीन ज़ीवकार ये थी उर्दू की ख़बरें जो कि अख़बार जंग पाकिस्तान से ली गई हैं और उससे कबल कि मैं अंग्रेज़ी की ख़बरें आपको सुनाऊं और अंग्रेज़ी की ख़बरें जो हैं वो अदारा BBC से ली गई हैं मैं शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूं हमारे जो जादूगर हैं हमारे टेक्निकल जादूगर जो हैं शाहिद शबीर चौधरी साहब का जो कि मेरी इस प्रोग्राम की नशरियात में मावनत फरमा रहे हैं एक बार फिर उनका बहुत-बहुत शुक्रिया और सामीन ज़ीवकार आप समात फरमा रहे हैं रेडियो ईमान 103.1 FM योर वॉइस योर चॉइस और मैं हूं आपका पेशकार आपका भाई आपका मेज़बान राजा खुशनूद खान और पेश करता हूं प्रोग्राम मसला क्या है हर जुमेरात शाम 6 बजे ता 8 बजे And now, ladies and gentlemen, news in English. And before I read the news, you are listening to Radio Iman, 103.1 FM, your voice, your choice. And I'm your host, your anchor for Iman TV Online as well, which will come on later, which will be broadcasting to you later on. And my name is Raja Khushoon Khan. I present the program called Masla Kya Hai. That is, what is the problem, what is the issue? Every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the first item, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, is how the UK pulled the Brexit trigger. Land search in missing helicopter probe. Computer delays in child sex inquiries. And sugar targets set for cakes and chocolate. Terror police grab suspects from car. Bath drowning boy's mum stupid. And bridge tribute to Westminster victims. And vigils were held in towns and cities to pay tribute to victims of Westminster. And RFID, the Rotherham Friends Indeed charity, which works in Rotherham for homeless people, opened their doors at Shiloh, who are their partners, on Saturday, the 25th of March 17, between 6 and 7, to their homeless guests. Delicious meals were served with desserts to their homeless guests, and they were supervised by our advisor, Sayyid Ahmed Sayyid. Rotherham Friends Indeed is a charity mainly run by Muslim men and women working in Rotherham tirelessly over many months, which is trying to bring about community cohesion. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to Radio Iman, 103.1 FM, your voice, your choice. And I'm your host, Raja Khushoon Khan, and I present the program called Masla Kya Hai. That is, what is the problem, what is the issue, every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Radio Iman and Iman TV Online promotes awareness. We promote a sense of responsibility. We promote love. We promote peace. We promote brotherhood. We promote tolerance. And most important of all, we promote community cohesion. And ladies and gentlemen, Darnell Men's Healthy Luncheon Club opened their doors at Starbucks Community Centre on Darnell Road, Darnell, at 12:30 to 1:30 for their members. And it was done in 3 segments. Half an hour was taken on by Raja Khan, that is myself, doing fitness training with various trainees ranging from the age of 30 to 83. And then delicious food was served to our members and trainees. And the food only costs £1. This is to ensure that the group continues working. And usually the third segment is always a health issue, a talk, a lecture, a discussion on health problems and current health issues. And I, ladies and gentlemen, thank Radio Iman and its management for letting me speak about these activities, because apart from people's social, religious and political health, it's important that we promote physical health as well. And another world-famous charity, Kashmir Orphans Relief Trust, known as CORT, K-O-R-T, are having their annual function at Arooj Banqueting Hall on Sunday, the 2nd of April at 5:30 p.m. Apart from giving us a report of their affairs in Kashmir and their services to the needy and orphans of Kashmir and Pakistan, there'll be nasheed artists presenting and entertaining you as well. And after that fundraising event, you will be served with delicious food once again. सामीन और नाजरीन अजीवकार और नाजरीन, अब आप कुछ देर बाद मेरा साथ देंगे आप मेरा प्रोग्राम जो है वो देख सकेंगे लेकिन इसके बावजूद मैं आपका शुक्रगुजार हूं कि आप मेरा प्रोग्राम समाअत फरमा रहे हैं और कुछ देर बाद आप मेरा प्रोग्राम देखने में भी कामयाब हो जाएंगे इंशाअल्लाह बफज़ल खुदा आप समाअत फरमा रहे हैं रेडियो ईमान 103.1 एफएम आपकी आवाज़ आपका इंतखाब और मैं हूं आपका पेशकार आपका भाई आपका मेज़बान राजा खुशनूद खान और पेश करता हूं प्रोग्राम मसला क्या है हर जुमेरात शाम 6 बजे ता 8 बजे और सामीन इसी वकार जैसा कि मैंने पहले कहा है अंग्रेज़ी में मैंने कहा है रेडियो ईमान ना सिर्फ आप में बेदारी पैदा करता है एहसास ज़िम्मेदारी पैदा करता है मोहब्बत प्यार अमन भाईचारे बर्दाश्त यानी रवादारी और मिली यकजहती को फ़रोग़ देता है ये आपकी दीनी सेहत का भी ख्याल रखता है आपकी समाजी और सियासी सेहत का भी ख्याल रखता है इसके अलावा सबसे ज़्यादा जो बात है वो आपकी जिस्मानी सेहत है और जिस्मानी सेहत के लिए हम आपके लिए रंगारंग तकारीब और रंगारंग प्रोग्राम लाने का आदा करते हैं और इंशाअल्लाह मुस्तक़बिल करीब में आप ऐसे प्रोग्राम समाअत फरमा सकेंगे सो प्लीज़ स्टे विद अस और हमारा साथ जिस तरह आप दे रहे हैं जिस वफादारी से दे रहे हैं उसका मैं शुक्रगुजार हूँ बजे ब्रेक का वक्त होगा और ब्रेक के बाद मैं आपको जो आज का मौजू है उस पर मैं आपको आगाह करूँगा तमहीद बांधूँगा और बतलाऊँगा कि किस मसले को हम ज़ेर बहस लाएंगे लेकिन मैं इस मौका को गनीमत समझते हुए शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ जनाब अब्दुर्रहमान साहब का जो कि प्रोग्राम हमारा समाअत फरमाते हैं और इसके अलावा और जो दोस्त हैं अब्दुल सलाम साहब और साजिद बोस्तान साहब का बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ जनाब मसला क्या है साहब जो कि हमेशा हमारा प्रोग्राम जो है उसमें हिस्सा भी लेते हैं और भी हैं उनका भी तहे दिल से शुक्रगुजार हूँ और शुक्रगुजार हैं राजा सलैन साहब के रहमान साहब के और अमीदुर रहमान साहब ने मुझे हमारी जब क्वार्टरली मीटिंग हुई और हमारी रेडियो ईमान की पेशकारों की क्वार्टरली मीटिंग सामीन ज़ीवकार और नाज़रीन ज़ीवकार पिछले मंगल को हुई और रेडियो ईमान के दफ्तर में जो मीटिंग रूम है वहाँ हुई उन्होंने मुझे कुछ अच्छी तजावीज़ से नवाजा है मैं उनका शुक्रगुजार हूँ वो मुझे मेरी कमज़ोरियाँ भी बतला रहे थे और महसूस कर रहे थे शायद मैं बुरा ना मनाऊँ देखें जो दोस्त होते हैं जो भाई होते हैं अगर वो अच्छी राय दें तो वो यानी अगर आपके दोस्त आपकी इस्लाह नहीं करेंगे तो आपके दुश्मन तो आपकी इस्लाह नहीं करेंगे मैं उनकी असलाह का उनकी राय का उनके मशवरों का शुक्रगुजार हूँ और उन्होंने एक और बात मुझे कही कि आप जो बहुत ही मुश्किल उर्दू है उससे इज्तनाब करें यानी उससे परहेज़ करें लिहाजा हमीदुर रहमान साहब अगर आप मेरा प्रोग्राम समाअत फरमा रहे हैं अगर आप मेरा प्रोग्राम सुन रहे हैं तो मैं ये कोशिश काविश करूँगा इंशाअल्लाह और मैं आपके मशवरों राय की कदर करता हूँ और सामीन इसी प्रकार चूँकि ये कम्युनिटी रेडियो स्टेशन है ये आपका रेडियो स्टेशन है और ईद है वो भी ज़रूरी होती है अगर आप किसी भी प्रोग्राम की किसी भी मौजू की तनकीद करना चाहते हैं तारीफ़ करना चाहते हैं तायद करना चाहते हैं तस्करा करना चाहते हैं या तबसरा करना चाहते हैं तो उसके लिए आप रेडियो ईमान और ईमान टीवी ऑनलाइन के फ़ोन नंबर और मैं फ़ोन नंबर आपको बतला देता हूँ पे राब्ता कायम करके वो बात कर सकते हैं अपनी तनकीद तारीफ वो जो है नंबर जो है वो मैं आपको बतला देता हूँ और मैं जैसा कि हमेशा कहता हूँ पहले नंबर आपको घुमाना पड़ता था लेकिन आजकल जो है आप वॉइस कॉल पे भी वो नंबर जो है बोल सकते हैं या वो नंबर आपने उंगलियों से दबा सकते हैं घुमाने की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है आपको बड़ी कम तवानाई खर्च करनी पड़ेगी और फ़ोन नंबर है 01142425 नंबर दोहराई देता हूँ 01142425 انتہائی اچھے بندے ہیں, خوش اخلاقی سے پیش آتے ہیں, اور ان کے جو لذیذ کھانے ہیں میں کیا بات کروں, بہت ہی اچھے ہیں اور بہت ہی معاون ہیں اچھی صحت کے لیے. لہٰذا اگر آپ رعایت کھانے اور لذیذ اور مزیدار کھانے اور یعنی اچھے ماحول میں آ کر وہ کھانے کھانا چاہتے ہیں اپنے دوستوں کے ساتھ, اپنے عزیزوں کے ساتھ, تو ذائقہ شیفیلڈ میں تشریف لائیں, یا ذائقہ ویل گیٹ میں اگر آپ رودر میں رہتے ہیں تو وہاں جائیں. دیکھیں, میں ہمیشہ کہتا ہوں کہ جو خدمت, جو سروس اچھی ہو اس کی تعریف کرنا چاہیے. اور ذائقہ میں خود کھانا کھاتا ہوں, اور جو ان کے کباب اور روٹی ہیں وہ باخدا اتنے لذیذ ہیں اور اتنے اچھے ہیں. بس خدا کا شکر ہے کہ یہ خوراکیں ہمیں بڑے اچھے داموں میں مل رہی ہیں, اور وطن کی یاد بھی تازہ ہوتی ہے اور آپ کی صحت بھی بنتی ہے. سامعین عزیز وقار, ایک بریک کا وقت ہوا چاہتا ہے, تھوڑا سا وقت رہتا ہے, تھوڑے سے چند سیکنڈ رہتے ہیں. میں آپ سے ملتمس ہوں, میں آپ سے گزارش کرتا ہوں کہ آپ پروگرام سماعت فرماتے رہیں اور دیکھتے رہیں. ایک بریک کا وقت ہوا چاہتا ہے, انشاءاللہ آپ سے ملاقات ہوگی اس بریک کے اس پار انشاءاللہ. Stay with us.
Connecting you to your community. This is Aman FM.
Children's show where you listen to stories from the Quran, nasheeds and naats.
Keep listening to the children's show with me, Amina and Alina, every Saturday 3 till 4 on Radio Iman 103.1 FM.
Khan Solicitors, experienced criminal defense lawyers in defending your rights. We can assist you get the best possible outcome if you're involved in any criminal matters, including murder, drug offences, sexual offences including grooming, terrorism, fraud and money laundering. We can provide free advice and assistance 24/7 at the police station. Call us on 0114 258 3399 at 351 Abbeydale Road, Sheffield. Visit us at khansolicitors.com. Over 20 years experience in defending your rights.
کیا آپ بچوں کی شادی کے سلسلے میں پریشان ہیں؟ کیا آپ برطانیہ میں ہی بچوں کی شادی کرنا چاہتے ہیں؟ کیا آپ ایک اچھے رشتے کی تلاش میں ہیں؟ اگر ان سوالوں کا جواب ہاں میں ہے تو آپ کا مسئلہ حل ہو گیا. برطانیہ میں رہائش پذیر اعلیٰ تعلیم یافتہ کسی بھی برادری کے اچھے رشتوں کے لیے آپ رابطہ میرج ہیلپ لائن سے اس ٹیلی فون نمبر پر رابطہ قائم کریں. 01142425 رابطہ میرج ہیلپ لائن, مسلمان خاندانوں کو قریب لانے کا رابطہ.
Khushoon Insurance Rotherham are your friendly local brokers who can insure all your needs, whether it's for your own car, home or property you let. We also have specialist insurance for your shop, restaurants and takeaways. We can cover all aspects of the motor trade, and we have some excellent rates for taxis, minibuses and commercial vehicles, including fleet policies. All written quotes can be beaten. Please call us today on 01709 556 230. We are open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Sheffield's finest buffet restaurant, Mirpuri Dera, reviving the taste of Asian subcontinent. Extensive buffet with more than 40 dishes.
نئی انتظامیہ, نیا صاف ستھرا ماحول, منفرد کھانے, 40 سے زائد ڈشز, پارٹی آرگنائزر, مشرقی روایات کا علمبردار, حلال فوڈ.
Mirpuri Dera, Stanifeth Road, Darnell, 014-244-9199, under new management.
جیڑا بھی پائے ایک واری پھیرا, وہ آوے بار بار میرپوری ڈیرا.
السلام علیکم. ہم آپ کے شکر گزار ہیں کہ آپ نے الحبیب ویلفیئر فاؤنڈیشن کے ساتھ بھرپور تعاون کیا. آپ کے زکوٰۃ, صدقات, فدیہ اور صدقات الفطر بغیر کسی کمی کے ہم انتہائی غریب پسماندہ علاقوں کے یتیموں, بیواؤں, معذوروں اور ضرورت مندوں تک پہنچاتے ہیں. اللہ تعالیٰ آپ کے تعاون کو قبولیت کا اعلیٰ درجہ عطا فرمائیں.
For more information, please contact Maulana Aslam Zaid on 0789 454 0303, alhabibwelfarefoundation.co.uk.
In a world where accident claims are poorly managed and the referral fees paid are so low, and just when all hope is lost in the city of Sheffield, a hero emerges. A hero so powerful, one phone number is all you need. A hero named Mr. Compensator. For your referral fee of £2,000, call Mr. Compensator now on 0114 3863 386. Terms and conditions apply.
Equipping the generation towards a cohesive society. This is Iman FM.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सामीन और नाजरीन अज़ीज़ आप समाअत फरमा रहे हैं रेडियो ईमान 103.1 FM 103.1 FM आपकी आवाज़ आपका इंतखाब और आप देख रहे हैं ईमान टीवी ऑनलाइन और मैं हूं आपका भाई आपका पेशकार आपका मेज़बान राजा खुशनूद खान और पेश करता हूं प्रोग्राम मसला क्या है हर जुमेरात शाम 6 बजे ता 8 बजे और सामीन ज़ीवकार और नाज़रीन ज़ीवकार इससे कबल के मैं जो आज का मौजू है उस पे बात करूं मैं खुशामदीद कहना चाहता हूं अपने भाई अपने दोस्त हमारे समाजी कारकुन इंतहाई सरगर्म समाजी कारकुन मेरी मुराद है सेक्रेटरी अबू बकर मस्जिद चौधरी मोहम्मद साबर साहब अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर
अस्सलाम वालेकुम टू लिसनर्स अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह क्वाइट वेल
सामीन और नाज़रीन ज़ीवकार हम इस मुल्क में रह रहे हैं और मैं बार-बार कहता हूं कि हम बहुत से मसाइल से दो चार हैं और एक मसला जो है वो ये है कि हम पे इल्ज़ाम लगता है वो ख़ास सही है या गलत है वो ये है कि हम इस माशरे में ज़म होने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहे यानी इंटीग्रेट होने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहे ये कहाँ तक दुरुस्त है क्या ये ज़रूरी है कि हम इस माशरे में ज़म हों और कहाँ तक हम ज़म हैं इस पे मुफस्सल गुफ्तगू होगी हमारे मेहमान से और मैं चाहूँगा कि प्रोग्राम के 20 या 30 मिनट बाद आप भी अपनी कॉल से हमें नवाजें और हमें फ़ोन कर अपनी राय से आगाह करें कि क्या हम माशरे में इंटीग्रेट हुए हैं माशरे में ज़म हुए हैं या नहीं हुए और उसकी क्या वजूहात हैं हमारे शायर मशरक मुफक्कर इस्लाम ने कहा था दियार इश्क में अपना मकाम पैदा कर नया ज़माना ने सुबह शाम पैदा कर जी चौधरी साबर साहब क्या हम इस माशरे में इंटीग्रेट हुए हैं
I've got to be very frank because we have a lot of failings. We don't understand what the integration is. And we think we are integrated, but there are massive shortfall on that because I would have been on the same thinking line if I wasn't half of my family is British. They're white British, and that's happened for 17 years ago. So therefore, when you're working with a work colleague, is your very best friend and colleague, but he only talks to work-related sports, politics. Sometimes they don't even talk politics. They don't talk about. So probably talk about general weather and things like that. But they will never say how the way you live is wrong, because they don't criticize you. It's none of their. They think it's not their business, which is rightly so, because Islamically you should not criticize how the other people should live. Another community is up to them. They have a freedom choice to live.
But that Chaudhry Mohammad Sabar Saab is behind in your house, behind your doors. But when you are in a community, how should you act and how should you attempt to associate with other people?
Obviously, the way we're doing at this moment, that is not right. Because I will say, because I'll give you an example just to put you in a picture where we make mistakes.
And I apologize for the extreme heat, ladies and gentlemen, and Brother Saber. It's been a very warm day, and I don't know how to put the AC on. I hope our staff, able staff, are listening and can put the air conditioner on. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Why it is because we think we're integrating, but we're not integrating the way we should do. Because if you find you might have some colleagues working on the radio station, which is white British, and they do make an effort to talk to the Pakistani Muslim community because they understand and they come up to them. But for some reason, only people who they talk to the person which they don't know, never seen him before. But Pakistanis only seem to talk to the one they know. And that's not, because humanity, you should make an effort and talk to them and enter into a dialogue, a healthy conversation to know each other.
I agree with you. I concur. Ladies and gentlemen, dear listeners, the views expressed by Mr. Muhammad Saber or our callers are not necessarily the views of Radio Iman, but I agree with him that you must attempt to befriend a lot of people, and you must speak to them, you must smile at them. That is just a basic human responsibility and an Islamic principle that we should abide by and live by.
It's why it is the way we live is completely un-Islamic. If we were if our lives were built in with the Islam, the West does not have issue with Islam. They have issue with the Muslim. We represent Islam in a wrong manner because we don't practice. We only practice when we need janazah. We only practice when we need nikah. Other than that, we don't. Very rare. If we would like it, we go to masjid. Otherwise, we don't want to go.
Well, some people would differ with that. They would say the West doesn't have problems with Muslims, it's Islam.
No, what happened, because it's a Muslim what we did in the past 60 years and so on, the way we behaved. If we would have behaved Islamically, half of the nation would have been in Islam, because Islam is very logical and general public, there's a lot of people would have took on board. There's no problem. I know my missus, she reverted through dialogue and understanding. And I said to her, she asked me a question, and I said, I'm a Jew, I'm a Christian and a Muslim. She said, how can you be three? I go, so we believe in all the prophets.
Subhanallah.
Yeah. And the reason I said the perception is there's a theory of Darwin. It states that man become from a monkey to a man. I said, no, it's been all the way around, because the man was a man, and the bad behaving people before Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they were changed to animals because of their action and their behaviors. Since Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came in, his rule came, and he did dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, deal with my people on the day of judgment. Whatever they do wrong, deal them on the day of judgment, and don't change their appearances. So obviously, thank you very much to our Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, rahmatullahi alameen, for what we do is between us and Allah, and to be dealt on day of judgment. And I said to her, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam was mighty's messenger, and his miraculous birth is very well accepted by the Islam, and he was born without a father. And it was just a reminder that if Hazrat Isa alayhi salam can born without a father, Hazrat Adam alayhi salam can't be created without mother and father.
For our listeners and viewers, I'd like to add that Jesus Christ, Isa alayhi salam, as known to Muslims, is a very revered prophet of Islam, and he's mentioned more frequently than our own prophet, Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him.
In fact, even in the Quran, there's a full chapter on Hazrat Maryam alayhi salam, the Mary.
That is correct.
And you won't find that in the Bible.
That is correct.
Yeah,
yes.
And why it is, because when I mentioned that to her, and she said, do you believe in Adam and Eve? I said, of course I believe in Adam and Eve. And she says, I did go to church, and I thought that was just a story. I said, no, it was fact. And through that, she became a Muslim. And we need to be very equipped and knowledgeable in Islam. And what we do, we practice so much when we need it, when in problems. And sometimes we go to Pir Sahib and do Taweez and dua and everything. First of all, you do your own actions. Allah Ta'ala keeps all the problems away. Yeah. And it's a way of life.
Chaudhry Muhammad Saber, just tell me how you would like, briefly, you would like people, Muslims, to be integrated with the general society. And, you referred to British people. Aren't we all British,
Yeah, well, it is. I'll give you an example, because what the Western people, the majority intellectual people, they know what the Islam is. Because they see what we do, they know that's not Islam, and they just refrain from it because they don't want to be part of that. And example is that, because if I do a wedding for my child and I hire 5 cars, and the next door neighbor or another friend, he will say, well, they're doing this, and I'm going to hire 6 or 7 cars and show them I'll go some money, I'll do a better style. In fact, we should be all the way around. If somebody reads 5 namaz, I should be reading tahajjud as well. So make sure better in the pious and the right direction, because we're going into the different of non-Islam. It should be competing within Islam.
Very good. And dear listeners and view program, thank you once again. And I'm very grateful to Raja Sklan Saab as well. Please continue.
And if you we have weddings, we have other things as well. And if your neighbours next door, if you're screeching cars outside, you're burning the tyres, you're showing the flash, the neighbour next door wants to live quietly, and do you expect him to integrate with you? No. Because how can you expect him to? If then you go around and say hello and I'm very nice and I fetch a curry, it doesn't work like that. They're not fool. You cannot make them, British people, very wise than you are. You cannot make them fool, because they make decisions for the whole world. They understand how the world works. We come in and we see small things. We've been deceiving here, there, and we think we're very smart. Obviously, we're not smart enough. And we need to become transparent. Once we are transparent and we'll law-abiding, I know there's a lot of law-abiding citizens as well, but we need to be very transparent, trustworthy, peaceful, and the West has no problem with that, and the people will come forward and they will integrate with you. Other than that, if you don't change your way of thinking, then you change your way of living, and which is totally against Islam, and you expect the West to come forward to you, integrate, it doesn't work, and nobody wants to be on their doorstep.
Tell me about, I'm talking about Muslims, Pakistanis and Muslims in general. Do we have to forego our religious identity in order to integrate, or can we integrate by holding and sticking to our views? But there's a lot that isn't that is common between Christians and Muslims.
Having your own culture as a Pakistani, there's no issue with that. Even English people don't have no issue. If you have a mela, if you have within the Islamic boundaries, if you have a music culture, they will join you. There's no problem. But problem is, the time of previously when the Muslims were practicing, everybody used to trust them so much. And now this come to a stage that they don't trust. We have a tendency to deceive as well. And we're trying to be smart. And these people are very smarter than we are. And they just don't speak. What they do, what they see overall, the way we behave, we drive some street, the way our actions on the street, they see it, they don't say nothing. And day of polling, they put the tick on it. And that affects us. And there are one community which is actively integrated and integrating. There are such a Islamic, I shouldn't be, I'm not pinpointing any particular one, but they are doing work and they represent Islam, and they're doing whatever they represent, they're doing a fabulous work as integration, which we should have been doing that, because in our fold of Islam, it doesn't say that you don't, we don't have no obstacles to not to integrate.
Thank you for that. Dear listeners, dear viewers, you are listening to Radio Iman and Iman TV Online. Please ring in if you've got any issues, any problems with what is being discussed, or you want to make an addition, deletion. If you want to add something, or if you want to criticize something, please call in. And the number to call, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, is 0114 2425 200. 0114 2425 200. Well, thank you very much for that. What you're saying is that we've got to be, what is it, true Muslims?
True Muslim, there's no issue.
In order to...
Yeah, because I see, I have half of the family for 17 years. They treat me like a family, and I treat them like a family, but I am as a Muslim. Whatever I do, whatever my missus does, my children do, they are uncle to other some females. They have stepsisters, they have brother-in-laws, but we all respect mutually, and they respect our value, and they're happy to share and our way of life. There's no issue at all. We have a very good respect for each other, and Islamically, there's no issue. But problem is, even they do pinpoint, and they are rightly so. They are what the actions of our community do. They said you don't need enemy, because you're enemy within yourself.
यानी जो कुछ आप कह रहे हैं, I'm reverting back to Urdu, ladies and gentlemen, dear viewers. नाजरीन अज़ीज़ कार, हम उर्दू में बात कर रहे हैं. चौधरी मोहम्मद साहब ये बताइए कि आप फरमा रहे हैं कि हम चूँकि अपनी जो इस्लामी औसाफ हैं, अपने इस्लामी इक़दार हैं, उन पे कारबंद नहीं है, इसकी वजह से हम झूठ बोलते हैं, हम गलतकारी करते हैं, हम धोखेबाजी करते हैं, इस वजह से हम इस माशरे में जम नहीं हो रहे हैं.
We are liars all the time. There's a lot of other things that we do which is देखो नफ्स को कंट्रोल करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. Our ego is bigger than ourselves. That is a fundamental problem. You're not breaking the law, but you're acting above yourself. And that is, even Islamically, you should be humble. And that's what we don't have. And if I, just example, I put a cameraman in front of you, and you'll have 10 people ready to speak. They're bursting out. They can't hold themselves. I'm criticizing the reason to make them better because we need PRs. Them PRs should go into colleges, universities, go to media places, get trained up. And we need people trained up. But don't rush and impress the colleagues behind you and the society around you because the clip's going to come out. It's only going to 5 seconds. No matter if you've been there 10 hours on that, showing how good you are. And that you might have made one small mistake. That clip might come onto media. It's up to them how they edit it and play it. So we need to train people in a professional manner, fetch them in through proper media training, and they all need to be equipped. One thing they need to do, don't do things just to impress other people. Do that you believe that you're going to make a difference. I spoke to Mobina, said you need to, because Vakas has become barrister, you need to become a doctor so you can save somebody's life.
And these are your sons?
Yeah, son. And he gave me an example. He said, Dad, if where I get, I'll make a decision, it might save thousands of lives. And I have no answer to it. I have to accept because there's different ways to work things, and they don't have to be professionally saving one particular person. You can save society, whole humanity.
True. And you know these people that have committed these atrocities at Westminster Bridge. This person, and we've had people who are alleging or claiming to be Muslims. They've committed atrocities and terrorist acts. Now, what should be the Muslim community's attitude regarding those?
Well, I'll be honest with you. Condemning is a human thing to do. You don't have to be a Muslim to condemn it, or anybody, because if somebody commits such a terrorism crime, extremism, whether it's far right or Muslim, it's because when it's committed that crime, it's no longer in the fold of Islam. On Day of Judgment, he's going to be held accountable for his actions. Sure. And for Muslim, what happened and over the period, because when the 9/11 happened and then things gradually start getting worse, it's never improved. And I myself was into Tesco shopping with my missus, and she's white and English, and there were elderly couple and with a small grandchild with him. Yeah. When they come to near us, the aisle, they pulled the child away and they looked at us as though we were terrorists. Yeah. And this is the perception, it was there. And it was there for a long time. Mm-hmm. And ulama, what they do fabulous work, but they don't do enough and they don't have ability. It's not because they don't want to do it, because they don't have ability to do that. Because what happened, nobody could tell us the suicide killing is Islamic or not Islamic. Yeah. And it took, since 2011, and the fatwa book came out by Professor Tariq Adri. There's such an Alme Islam. You go, Al-Azhar University is massive, other university in the Middle East. Nobody has come out with a written format of it. The suicide bombing is, committing suicide is haram, is forbidden in Islam. We had no clue, no answers. We just keep going to masjid thinking, well, it's our foreign policy. That's the view that we had.
Yeah, Chaudhry Mohammad Sahab, tell me this. Muslims have always condemned acts of terrorism, and terrorism is alien to any religion, whether it's Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, or Buddhism. But, you know, should Muslims condemn it every time it happens? Because, you know, when Joe Ashton was killed, the English community didn't come out to condemn her, condemn her killer.
Be honest with you, because as a Muslim, you have, if any barbarism happened, you should condemn it because it's a killing of humanity. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, because even as Rasulullah said, if somebody is doing wrong, physically hold them, and if you can't do that, then with the resentment, move away from them.
Yeah, speak against
them or walk away from them, that actions. So condemning in any time, there's no loss in that. That is a humanity. If somebody other than a community doesn't do it, that means you don't have to do it. But you don't need to do, which is apologize, because you haven't committed a crime, or Islam hasn't given that authority to somebody to commit a crime. That was action, misled himself, one individual, whatever, or group of people.
Chaudhry Mohammad Sahab, for your information, I read an item of news from United Nations. They also said, they also urged everybody not to link terrorism to Islam. What would you say about that?
Yeah, well, goes back again to 2011, Tariq Qadhi's fatwa book. It goes back to that because only one fatwa in English, 600 pages, came in. They were delivered to all the United Nations. It was delivered to all the parliaments across the Europe as well, to tell them Islam denounces this, and whoever acts in terrorism is act of terrorism, is murder, is un-Islamic, is outside the fold of Islam. And then from there, we Muslim got a understanding what Islam is at. Because what we knew, Islam is all about just go to masjid, do a Jummah, do 5 times the Namaz, read the Quran. But we didn't understand in a detail what does it say about all the systems of Islam, what's happening. And thanks to Professor Tariq Qadhi, his hard work, and he's given us a national platform, and the people came out. Now the people are confident what these terrorists are doing is wrong. We need to stand against them, which is a good thing. Now you get, because your action coming out, even the Prime Minister mentioned, it's nothing to do with Islam, because you have delivered the message. And same time, the United Nations coming up with same rhetoric, but we didn't do no work before that.
But, it's a good thing to condemn terrorism and not to link Muslims to terrorism. What do you think about those people that link terrorism to Islam and call it Islamic extremism?
No, which is when you don't do your work, somebody will do things against you. And that you don't expect that in world you will have a good and bad and evil all the time. Because if you look at when Hazrat Adam alayhi salam was created, Iblis was there before him. So the opposite has been there before you. So your job is Allah has given you guidance, how you should live, how you get distracted, how to refrain from it. It's all there because the evil people will be there. The misguided people will be there, and they will not like you all the time. You can't change them. But generalize, 99% people, they want to live peaceful across the world, and they don't have no issue. So you have to do the work and make sure you're part of that society. What we do in this moment, in fact, instead of doing integration, we do segregation. I'll give you an example.
That's a very tough.
It is tough because I have to mention it because if a community does a program, our job is to be part of that. Whether we get platform or speaker doesn't matter. All the faith groups there, all Muslims should come out and join that. And we have failed on that because I'll give you an example. When Donald Trump, he banned the 7 Muslim countries to enter into America and stop against racism. They did the protests across UK, and also the same mindset. They protested against United States actions, and the people in the United States, they stood up for Muslims. Where were the Muslims?
True, I agree.
You talking about integration? Being on a speaker, standing in a council chamber, that's not integration, that's working. That's your job.
And ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Brother Mohammed Saber is a Muslim, and he is, putting Muslims on spot. And this is what Radio Iman TV Online is there for you, to self-analyze, to eradicate weaknesses amongst our community, and to do self-analysis. And, where we have weaknesses, to highlight those weaknesses, and where we have strengths, we should highlight them. But I'm after the break and news, I'm going to ask you a tough question. So
I'll give you tough answers as well.
You'd better be prepared, Mohammed.
I'm prepared.
Okay, thank you very much.
My community is bleeding and it's not pulling his weight, and I'm myself or a few other people cannot change things.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Radio Iman 103.1 FM, your voice, your choice, and you are viewing Radio Iman. No, not you can't view Radio Iman. Iman TV online. Please ring in if you agree with what is being discussed, what is being said, what is being said to us by Chaudhry Mohammed Sabar, our permanent guest from the Secretary of Abu Bakr Mosque, Rotherham. He's saying some tough things. If you agree with him, please ring in. If you disagree with him, then please ring in. But please ring in after the news, 7 o'clock news. Dear listeners, dear viewers, we are fast approaching the 7 o'clock or the break before 7 o'clock and then the 7 o'clock news. I would like you to ring in, call in. जैसा कि सामीन अजीबकार और नाज़रीन अजीबकार मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ, ये आपका अपना रेडियो स्टेशन है और यहाँ मुख्तलिफ मसाइल पे बड़ी मुफस्सल गुफ्तगू होती है और अपने ख्यालात का इज़हार करने के लिए, अपने नज़रियात का इज़हार करने के लिए हमारे साथ शामिल है हमारे मेहमान जनाब चौधरी मोहम्मद साबर साहब, जो कि सेक्रेटरी हैं अबू बकर मस्जिद रॉदरम के और बहुत ही मुतहर्रिक और सरगर्म कारकुन है रॉदरम कम्युनिटी के। उनके दो बच्चे भी बहुत ही समाजी और सियासी और दीनी कामों में बहुत ही सरगर्म हैं। एक तो वकास हुसैन हैं और दूसरे मुबीन साबर हैं, जो कि कन्वीनर हैं और फाउंडर हैं British Muslim Youth के सामीन
I always support them. Kids are doing the hard work.
सामीन और नाज़रीन ज़िक्र एक ब्रेक का वक्त हुआ चाहता है, मिलेंगे इस ब्रेक और न्यूज़ के बाद इंशाअल्लाह।
Locally at 103.1 on FM, globally at imanfm.com on the internet. This is Iman FM.
Sufi Music Show. Matloob Hussain Ali Khan. Sufi Music Show, bringing you the best in Sufi music, Qawwali's world music, and the tradition of Sufi masters. Every Thursday, 8 till 10 p.m. only on Iman FM.
In the city of Sheffield, if you ever have an accident, do not fear. Mr. Compensator is here. He can provide you with a taxi, Prestige or 4x4 replacement vehicle in just 2 hours. Call 0114 3863 386 or visit mrcompensator.co.uk and let the experts manage your claim.
क्या आप रेडियो प्रेजेंटर बनना चाहते हैं या मीडिया इंडस्ट्री ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं? अपनी आवाज के जरिए अपनी कम्युनिटी की खिदमत करने का सुनहरी मौका ईमान एफएम पर। आइए हम आपको बनाएंगे रेडियो प्रेजेंटर। स्टूडियो ट्रेनिंग से लाइव प्रोग्रामिंग तक की तरबियत हासिल करने के लिए राब्ता करें 0114242051 या ईमेल कीजिए info@imanfm.com।
Ladies and gentlemen, Caterer of the Year Award 2016 goes to Aziz Catering.
मैंने कहा था ना, अवार्ड अजीज केटरिंग को ही मिलेगा। इतने लजीज खाने, मेहंदी, वलीमा, बारात, सालगिरह या कोई भी तकरीब, गमी हो या खुशी, खाना आपकी जरूरत के मुताबिक तैयार किया जाता है।
लोग 30 हो या 5000, लोकल हो या यूके में कहीं भी, आप अजीज केटरिंग की खिदमत हासिल कर सकते हैं।
01274 488874।
लो जी सज्जनों, बेलियो, मित्रों, बुझो माड़ी बुझो मीरप्री तवा जिसने बीचे ऊंट ना गोश्त, अरन ना गोश्त ते तितर बटेर।
Come and try traditional tawa dishes, bringing you the true taste of home cooking to your table.
एक बार अच्छो ते याद कर सो।
162 London Road, Sheffield, open from 12 p.m. till 11:30 p.m. or 014-258-0805.
मीरप्री तवा, हाँ जी मीरप्री तवा।
Thousands of people are dying from lack of basic food, water and medicine in Pakistan, Syria, Africa, Gaza and all around the world. Wars, border closures and lack of food supplies have raised prices out of the reach of the poor. Help families relief to provide essential medicine, food and clean water. Call now on 0114 365 4454 or go online to familiesrelief.org.uk and donate now to save lives.
माड़े मुड़े की चोरी ने केस पुलिस पोड़ी कहंदा ओ मैं क्या करा
तुसा खान सोलिसिटर्स की कॉल करो ओ दिहाड़ी राती 24 घंटे हर रोज ते हर वेले पुलिस स्टेशन जाई के सारे इंग्लैंड चु मुजरमानी जमानत कराई सकने ने इस वास्ते आखने ना ओ खान चुड़ा माड़ी जान
Khan Solicitors 351 Abbeydale Road, Sheffield, S7 1FS 0114-258-3399 or visit khansolicitors.com.
Online at www.imanfm.com and on our app, you're listening to Iman FM.
You're listening to Iman FM. Time for the news.
From the Sky News Centre at 7, police say 5 people found dead in the wreckage of a crashed helicopter in Snowdonia are members of the same extended family. They'd been flying from Luton to Dublin but failed to arrive at their destination yesterday. Recovery efforts have now been suspended overnight. Our reporter Nick Morton, who's near the scene, says that'll be the main focus tomorrow.
The first priority is to take the bodies away and send them to their families. Only then will the air investigators be able to look through the wreckage and figure out why this helicopter crashed. Was it about the weather? Was it mechanical failure?
An inquest's heard the man behind the Westminster terror attack was killed by a single wound to his chest. Khalid Massoud was shot by an armed police officer in the grounds of Parliament last week. A judge has called the son of the founder of the bakery chain Greggs a sophisticated predatory paedophile. Colin Gregg, who's 75, has been jailed for over 13 years after being convicted of 9 counts of indecent assault on 4 boys over decades. Labour's insisting Parliament must have time for proper checks after the so-called Great Repeal Bill. It transfers European rules into UK law the day after Brexit, but the opposition thinks it gives ministers too much power. The EU Exit Secretary insists it's about providing clarity for people and businesses, but Labour MP Chris Leslie thinks ministers are getting regulations lined up before axing them.
All the European rules and regulations, protections in many ways for workers, the environment, ready to push them over the edge, over the cliff, so that one after the other they can start to take us back to the 1930s.
And FIFA's proposing a 6-team playoff competition to decide the final 2 places for its revamped 48-team World Cup. The mini-event would take place in November before the first expanded tournament in 2026. Among FIFA's other proposals, Europe would have 16 places. That's the latest. I'm Barry Weir.
और सामीन ज़ीवकार और नाज़रीन ज़ीवकार आप समात फरमा रहे हैं रेडियो ईमान और ईमान देख रहे हैं ईमान टीवी ऑनलाइन और मैं अब आपको सुनाना चाहता हूं आपने हमारे इंतहाई बासलाहियत हाफिज़ मोहम्मद अनवार ज़ायदी का एक कलाम उम्मीद है आपको पसंद आएगा और ये है मेरी जानिब से आप सब की नज़र
मदीने आवा इसने भी मदीना देख
माशाअल्लाह ये थे हमारे अपने बासलाहियत बाकमाल मोहम्मद हाफिज मोहम्मद अनवार जाहिदी साहब और ये ट्रैक था मेरी जानिब से आप सबकी नज़र सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़कार आप समाअत फरमा रहे हैं रेडियो ईमान 103.1 FM आपकी आवाज़ आपका इंतखाब और आप देख रहे हैं You are watching Iman TV online and you are listening to Iman Radio Iman 103.1 FM and I'm your host और मैं हूँ आपका पेशकार मेज़बान राजा खुशनूद खान और पेश कर रहा हूँ प्रोग्राम मसला क्या है और ये पेश करता हूँ हर जुमेरात शाम 6 बजे से 8 बजे और सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़कार मेरे मेहमान हैं काबिल कदर काबिल तहसीन चौधरी मोहम्मद साबर हुसैन साहब जो कि सेक्रेटरी हैं अबू बकर मस्जिद रौदरम के और आज गुफ्तगू हो रही है कि माशरे में हमें किस तरह हमारा इंतज़ाम होना चाहिए किस तरह हम घुल मिल के जो अक्सरियती आबादी है उनके साथ रहें मैं उनसे एक बड़ा मुश्किल सवाल पूछूंगा चौधरी साहब फरमाइए कि क्या हमें इनके साथ घुलने मिलने के लिए शराब पीनी पड़ेगी या इन जैसे जो गलत काम है वो करने के लिए आप कह रहे हैं
नहीं what I'm saying you have to integrate as a Muslim if you start drinking alcohol and do things that prohibited in Islam then where is the Islamic values and there has been some people which are misguided and they because they think we want to be like them and I don't have no issue but our job is to integrate and show our akhlaq in sensible manner no overpowering and be knowledgeable in Islam and liaise with them common causes work with them join them everything you do there's no problem but you don't have to eat pork you don't have to drink alcohol you don't have to commit other crimes that from Islam forbids you and your job is to make sure one day hopefully Allah Ta'ala inko bhi hidayat de aur hamare raste par wo jannat ki taraf chale
in other words what you're saying is that there are values there are things that are common between us that we should adhere to without resorting to
I'll be honest with you as a Britain country is fundamental system is on Islam so we don't have no issue and they practice Islam.
Mr. Sabar Hussain, I would allege this to you. I think you want to become the Prime Minister of this country. You are praising the country so much. I think you are after votes.
No, no. It's not about being. I'd rather see this country in the right direction. They have Islamic values. And we do dua, Allah Ta'ala gives them tawfiq and they read La ilaha Muhammad Rasulullah. So it can't be any better than that, to be honest with you. That's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we need to practice in a best manner. The Islamic values is to look after them. If you look at it, they look after us on welfare, education, health, security. And they feed us, they clothe us. जैसे कि पाकिस्तान में तो नारा लगता है कपड़ा मकान रोटी अभी तक लोगों को मिला नहीं कहीं जनरेशन चली गई है लेकिन यहाँ पे सबको मिलता है
यहाँ की बात करते हैं
यहाँ पे सबको मिलता है
यहाँ भी हर चीज़ ठीक नहीं है यहाँ आप जहाँ जिस माशरे में चौधरी साबर साहब बात कर रहे हैं कि इस माशरे में हमें जम होना चाहिए और हमें घुल मिल के रहना चाहिए बड़ी अच्छी बात है लेकिन यहाँ भी हमारे लोगों के साथ ज़्यादतियाँ होती हैं नाइंसाफ़ियों के बहुत से वाक़यात आपके इल्म में होंगे
Why it is, I'll give you an example, Saab. There were no long ago, a few months back, and there were Rodman 12 case. And the youngsters, they stood firm within the law, and then they were found not guilty. You have the government gives, the law of this country gives you powers to exercise if somebody misuses powers. So you can't do that in any other country.
Yeah, but tell me this: if these people didn't have a strong, orchestrated, organized campaign behind them and a strong legal team behind them, do you not think these people would have been imprisoned?
They would have been definitely in prison because two of them already with the fear and they accepted the guilty verdict. Alhamdulillah, now they have pleaded not guilty and the trial will happen in May. Yeah. But what it is, because when something happens unlawfully against you, I don't want anybody to say, put your head down and leave it. No, we stand, challenge the system because that gives us right. But same time, we need to come out and stand with the humanity and the wider community. This is our country, and some people may have issues, but our job is to make sure we don't have no issues.
In fact, what I deduce from the conversation that I've had with you is that the Muslim community must play its part, must liaise with the wider community, with the majority community, in order to bring about integration. And you are not saying that Muslims should forego their religious beliefs or anything like that. What you're saying is that there is a lot that is common between Muslims and Christians, and that the British laws are, in par with Islam. And in fact, I've heard lots of Muslim scholars saying that this is the most Islamic country in the world.
It is, there's no doubt. It gives you all the rights. Whatever the law of this country and constitution, you can demand. And if you don't demand, how does somebody know that you need them? So, first of all, you need to be structurally done, because we don't have no structure. What happens what we tend to do when something happens, and if you ask them to come and join this movement or this organization is taking place, we need to stand with them. They say, it doesn't work like that. Physically, we need to stand and we need to be present there and make sure next generation and we fight united against terrorism, no matter what form of terrorism is, because at the moment, if somebody uses the name of Islam and is classed as a terrorist, but if somebody uses the name of far right and kills somebody, is not classed as a terrorist, it's a hate crime. We need to make sure that both category, anybody terrorizes any community, any human being, should be dealt as a terrorist. So that can happen, but only reason is we haven't done our work. We don't come out for it. We don't stand. We don't lobby it. If you lobby and stand, legislation can come in place.
What you're saying, in fact, is that we must liaise and cooperate with.
When Mohsen Ahmed was killed, and because we haven't done that job, and still we're not doing our job, that's why we can't get these organizations as terrorists or extremists. Because if we stand with the wider community and we play our role, become one of the best citizen, lobby the right movements and get to the right place, and we can get that legislation, and it can happen. And also, same thing, we're having a problem with the Tohin Risalat. It's happening over and over.
Blasphemy laws.
That's there again. Our ego is bigger than ourselves, because a religious group, Peer Sahib or dusra religious group, they individually don't. We're going to go and make a change, and we're going to help hold the community. They'll say it's doing a fabulous work. It doesn't work like that. All sorts of school need to come together on one platform, put the right people in the place to lobby it, get it legislated, and it can be done. But we do it wrongly, and that's what happens. When I said we segregate things, because we're dysfunctional, disunited, and our ego takes it over. I'm going to make a change. The people who said this wonderful man has done, needs to stop. We need to see the goal and the result, not the wonderful man. I'm here today talking with the problems that we have. I don't want people praising me tomorrow and say, you said wonderful things. No, I want you to be out, whether I'm there or not, making difference for society. I'd like to see the results.
सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ आप समाअत फरमा रहे हैं रेडियो ईमान 103.1 FM और आप देख रहे हैं ईमान टीवी ऑनलाइन और मैं हूं आपका भाई आपका पेशकार आपका मेज़बान राजा खुशनूद खान और पेश करता हूं प्रोग्राम मसला क्या है हर जुमा रात शाम 6 बजे से 8 बजे और मेरे मेहमान हैं चौधरी मोहम्मद साबिर हुसैन जो कि बहुत सरगर्म कारकुन हैं समाजी कारकुन हैं रादरम के और पिछले कई सालों से सेक्रेटरी हैं अबू बकर मस्जिद के जो मस्जिद इन्होंने शहीद करके नई इमारत जो है वो खड़ी की है बहुत अच्छी गुफ्तगू फरमा रहे हैं बहुत अच्छा मौजू है वो कह रहे हैं कि हमें इस माशरे में ज़म होना चाहिए ज़म से इनकी मुराद यह है कि गुल मिल के जो हमारी इक़दार हैं उनमें रहते हुए हम इस माशरे का एक अहम तरीन हिस्सा बन सकते हैं लेकिन वो अपनी कमज़ोरियों की निशानदेही कर रहे हैं और वो कह रहे हैं कि जो भी बड़ा मसला होता है हम बड़ी कम्युनिटी के साथ मिलकर उसमें शामिल नहीं होते आप क्या ऐसे किसी मसले की मिसाल दे सकते हैं जिसमें दूसरी बड़ी कम्युनिटी ने हिस्सा लिया हो लेकिन हमने ना लिया हो
I'll give you an example. Yes, this is very same thing on yesterday. on the London Bridge where the terror attack took place, there were a lot of other faith groups were there, and unfortunately the Muslim wasn't there. And another community, Ahmadi community, they was there in 1,000, and they did their job excellently. They done their bit. Where was the 250,000 London Muslims at so many mosques? Are they sleepwalking? Wake up middle of the night off the bed and go downstairs and have a cup of coffee and go back to sleep. They don't know if they have their coffee. They need to wake up and stand with all the communities to not just condemn it on the phone or a microphone, stand shoulder by shoulder, and also do not. Other thing is, we want to do things better than other community because we're superior. We're not superior. We're only 3 or 4% of the population, or 10% of the population of the country. Our representatives should be 10%. It should not be 100% and 150% take over the indigenous population. Nobody likes that. If same things would happen, just imagine if Christian community or other community take over a Muslim country and or they're in minority and try and make a decision for you, nobody would accept that. Same thing here, which is right so. And because what we should do, whatever our input is, we should put ourselves in onto that level. But we're not doing not even minute. Another thing, I'll give you an example. When the Abu Bakr Masjid was completed and we moved into the Masjid for Ramzan, there were Eid. And my colleague said to me, would you like to say a few words? I said, look, it's not about me saying a few words. The building's there. That speaks for me. I don't have to go on a speaker and speak. People can see what's happened, how we manage this. So why do I have to now be in front of them and gloat myself and look for praises? What I've done good, I'm destroying it.
Well, it's a wonderful job that you've done at Abu Bakr Masjid. Samin और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ वक़ार, मैं कोई इनकी ज़्यादा खुशामद नहीं कर रहा. ये हकीकत है.
But it's happened because of unity. If no unity, no matter how superior you are, you cannot achieve nothing.
सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ वक़ार, ये हकीकत है कि अबू बकर मस्जिद को शहीद करके बड़ा खर्चा किया इन्होंने नई इमारत पे, और ये काबिल रश्क, काबिल तहसीन, काबिल इस्ताइश काम है. और ऐसे ही काम मसाजिद में होना चाहिए. और इनकी मस्जिद में जो भी मसाइल होते हैं वो ज़ेर बहस आते हैं. और कल सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ वक़ार, कल जो हमारी मशहूर खैराती अदारा है फैमिलीज़ रिलीफ चैरिटी, वो आएगी अबू बकर मस्जिद जुमा के बाद. आपसे तवक्को उम्मीद है कि आप इस सिलसिले में हमारी मावनत फरमाएंगे. जनाब चौधरी साहब.
ओके, नेक्स्ट मूव.
जी, सो देखें, ये तो अच्छी बात है कि हमारे लोगों को बहुत बड़ी तादाद में बाहर आना चाहिए, लेकिन हमारे लोग जो हैं एक तो डरते हैं कि ऐसे जलसों में, जैसा कि रौद्रम के वाक़े में हुआ, मोहसिन अहमद को शहीद किया गया, उसके बाद मुसलमान कम्युनिटी एक काबिल ज़िक्र तादाद में बाहर आई. वो भी मैं समझता हूँ कि तादाद काफ़ी नहीं थी, 500-600 हमारे मुसलमान थे. लेकिन क्या हुआ, पुलिस ने ज़्यादती की, घोड़ों पे सवार पुलिस वालों ने जो जलसे में शुरका थे उनको धक्के दिए, गालम गलूच की, मुक्के मारे. मैं उस जलसे और उस वाक़े में मैं एक गवाह था. लेकिन ये वजह है कि मुसलमान डरते हैं. फिर बाद में हमारे बच्चों को गिरफ़्तार किया गया. तो ये भी एक वजह है कि वो जलसों और ऐसे मज़ाहिरों में जाने से इज्तनाब करते हैं.
अच्छा हुआ ऐसा उस वक्त मैं भी आपके साथ था. हमें पता था इन्होंने इनजस्टिस किया और कानून की खिलाफवर्जी की पुलिस वालों ने, और उसी की वजह से रात में 12 ने उनको प्रोसीड किया. और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह since then we had a protest the 25th of February and the police action was excellent. They accommodated us excellently and they have realized the mistakes they made. So they realize we are peaceful protesters and asking for our own rights. And we have made differences. The police negotiation went through, and the relations with police and the community become better. And what they were passed is being put aside.
यानी आप फरमा रहे हैं कि अगर कोई मसला दरपेश हो तो मसले के सिलसिले में, मसले को दुरुस्त करने में, उसकी तस्हीह और उसकी दुरुस्ती करने के लिए जो है कुछ काम करना पड़ता है. मसलन अगर मसला दरपेश है तो रेत में सर देते हुए वो मसला
घर बैठे से तो कोई काम नहीं होता. यू हैव टू बी आउट. दूसरा है कि लोग ये डरते नहीं हैं, सिर्फ सुस्त हैं. हर काम में कोई और चले जाएंगे, मैं काम पर जाता हूँ. ऐसा होता है ना, कोई ऐसे वक्त में काम हुआ कि कुछ अच्छे वक्तों में लोगों ने बोला कि सब जो है ना 5-5 किलो दूध ले आओ हाँ और एक उनमें से हमारे जैसा कोई बहुत तेज था उसने सोचा इतने लोग 5-5 किलो दूध लाएंगे मैं 5 किलो पानी ले जाता हूँ तो काम हो जाएगा पता नहीं चलेगा तो आखिर में जब पर्दा उठाया तो सब पानी था यही हमारी सोच है फलाना चले और लोग चले जाएं काम हो जाएगा कोई भी नहीं जाता इसलिए अपने आप को हमने शफाफ और ईमानदारी से अपने आप को बाहर लाना पड़ेगा हर एक को बी अकाउंटेबल It's not about you today, it's about the generation to come and humanity to come and save the मुसलमान जो है हमेशा के लिए होता है एक गुजारे के लिए नहीं है जैसे कि मस्जिद में जब काम शुरू करने लगे ना तो लोग कहने लगे इतना काम कराओ जो गुजारा हो जाए तो लेकिन आप मैंने बोला देखो यार अपने घर में गुजारा करो वो इस दुनिया में थोड़े अरसे के लिए है मस्जिद तो आपके साथ कब्र में भी जाएगी हमेशा के लिए है गुजारा घर में करें लेकिन हमारा माइंड सेट टोटली गलत है
यानी आप चौधरी मोहम्मद साबर साहब फरमा रहे हैं कि जो भी हम बात करें वो उसके जो नताइज हैं वो देर पा होने चाहिए और हमें मुस्तकिल मिजाजी से काम करने चाहिए मुस्तकिल मिजाजी से ताल्लुकात इस्तवार करने चाहिए
Definitely, because whatever we're doing at this moment, in the panic of situation, we do come out and do everything, but we do it for the glory. We need to kill that. We need to do things for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and your job is to do good. If it happens, fine. If it doesn't happen, alhamdulillah. Because nothing sometimes doesn't happen overnight. It may take 20 years. I myself, sometimes I give a message of Islam to people, and I don't expect them to read Kalma there and then. It's for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for them to guide them, and it may not happen now, it may happen 20, 30 years later. I might not be in this dunya, but alhamdulillah, if it happens, even if it doesn't happen, I've done my job, I will still get the reward. So that's how we need to work. Your Western society, they work on the next 50 years, whatever. They don't, because half of these people and the power, they won't exist then.
बहुत खूब
they do it for generation.
जी बहुत खूब चौधरी मोहम्मद साहब आप फरमा रहे हैं कि इस्तिक़लाल से मुस्तकिल यानी मिजाजी से और तम्मल से ये काम करने चाहिए और दीन की खिदमत जो है उसके नताइज और उसके जो अजर है वो उसी वक्त नहीं या उसके नताइज उसी वक्त उनकी तवक्को नहीं रखनी चाहिए देर पा कुछ नताइज होते हैं देर के बाद उनका नतीजा मिलता है लेकिन मैं आपसे एक और सवाल करूंगा कि ये जो सेग्रीगेशन की बात है और इंटीग्रेशन की बात है इंटीग्रेशन जो है ये तो जो इंटीग्रेशन है और आप मुस्बत इंटीग्रेशन की बात कर रहे हैं यानी आप असिमिलेशन की बात नहीं कर रहे कि हम अपनी इक़दार और अपने मज़हबी शख़्स को कायम रखते हुए इस माशरे का अहम रुकन और अहम हिस्सा बन सकते हैं लेकिन ये जो इंटीग्रेशन है या जो कम्युनिटीज़ के दरमियान बाहमी ताल्लुकात हैं ये दो तरफा प्रोसेस है ये दो तरफा ट्रैफिक है इस बात क्या कहेंगे
साहब हमने जो ज़हर उगला है ना लास्ट 50 इयर्स में वो टाइम लगेगा निकलने में भी और दिस सोसाइटी
उगला है या निगला है निगला है
जिस तरह भी है लेकिन इसने हमें नुकसान पहुंचाया है कि हमें अपने आप को शफाफत यानी कि हम आज अच्छा मुसलमान बन गए लोग मुझ पर एतमाद करने के लगे दे नीड टू सी द ओवर डेकेड what has we been doing for the last 10 years is he consistent with himself that's how the people perceive you and then they come forward and they accept you but if you think that we're going to happen overnight it's not going to happen but you got to start somewhere if I don't criticize our failures here then we're never going to improve
यानी चौधरी मोहम्मद साबर साहब ये मुझे बताइए कि आप ये फरमा रहे हैं कि Rome wasn't built in a day.
It wasn't, and also I myself, whatever the reason I come out today, just make sure that our community it takes on board, and they don't need to come with me. They can do things on their own, and they need to steadfast, and we need to start improving from today.
बहुत खूब चौधरी मोहम्मद साबर साहब सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ वक़ार आप समात फरमा रहे हैं रेडियो ईमान 103.1 FM आपकी आवाज़ आपका इंतखाब और आप देख रहे हैं ईमान टीवी ऑनलाइन और मैं हूं आपका पेशकार आपका भाई आपका मेज़बान राजा खुशनूद खान और पेश करता हूं प्रोग्राम मसला क्या है हर जुमेरात शाम 6 बजे से 8 बजे मेरे मेहमान हैं जनाब ज़ीवकार चौधरी मोहम्मद साबर हुसैन साहब जो कि सेक्रेटरी हैं अबू बकर मस्जिद के और बात हो रही है इंटीग्रेशन पे यानी दूसरी कम्युनिटीज़ के साथ और बिलखुसूस अक्सरीती कम्युनिटी के साथ हम मिलजुल कर किस तरह रह सकते हैं इंज़माम कैसे हो सकता है लेकिन असिमिलेशन की बात नहीं हो रही मैं चाहूँगा कि आप फ़ोन करें लेकिन इस ब्रेक के उस पार इंशाअल्लाह स्टे विद अस
Online at www.imanfm.com and on our app, you're listening to Iman FM.
नात क्या है निगहतों की सरजमी का तज़किरा नात क्या है सब हसीनों से हसी का तज़किरा प्रोग्राम नात क्या है जिसमें आदाब नात अदायगी नात और तलफ़्फ़ुज़ नात पर गुफ्तगू की जाएगी हर मंडे की शाम 8 बजे कारी मोहम्मद शहजाद के साथ सिर्फ ईमान एफएम पर
Khan Solicitors, experienced criminal defence lawyers in defending your rights. We can assist you get the best possible outcome if you're involved in any criminal matters, including murder, drug offences, sexual offences including grooming, terrorism, fraud and money laundering. We can provide free advice and assistance 24/7 at the police station. Call us on 0114 258 3399 at 351 Abbeydale Road, Sheffield. Visit us at khansolicitors.com. Over 20 years experience in defending your rights.
अरे शमसुद्दीन भाई यहाँ कहाँ घूम रहे हैं
भैया रोडरम में कोई खाने का अच्छा जगह है
रोडरम में उम्दा और लजीज खानों का वाहिद मरकज चौधरीज ओरिएंट एक्सप्रेस
अरे भैया तो टाइम जाया ना करो जल्दी करो भूख लग रहा है
देर न लाओ आज ही आओ ते फायदा उठाओ Cater to impress चौधरीज ओरिएंट एक्सप्रेस प्रिंसेस स्ट्रीट रोडरम टेलीफोन 01709 555527 हर कोई सज्जन मित्र बोले चौधरीज ओरिएंट दे पैगे रोले कुकड़ पाए ते गोश्त कढ़ाई आके खाओ होले होले
Aziz Catering, the award-winning caterers specialising in weddings, engagement, birthdays, business parties or any other special occasion from 30 to 5,000 people and delivered anywhere in the UK. All starters, main course and desserts freshly cooked to order and you're welcome to taste before you order. Aziz Catering, 1 Whitefield Place, Bradford, BD8 9JB. Call 01274 488874. Aziz Catering, once tried, never forgotten.
At iLet4U, we know that being a landlord can be a frustrating business, but it doesn't have to be. iLet4U can find you tenants in under a week. iLet4U, specialist in selective licensed properties.
अगर आप मकान किराए पे लगाना चाहते हैं तो हमारी खिदमत हासिल करें और घर बैठे किराया पाएं। iLet4U पर हम आपके घर को अपना घर समझकर रेंट पे देते हैं।
Start finding tenants today by contacting iLet4U, 60 Page Hall Road, Sheffield, 0114 327 2020.
मुअज़्ज़म अली शहीद वेलफेयर ट्रस्ट के ज़ेरे एहतमाम जेएलएम में कायम अस्पताल में पिछले 18 सालों से इलाज मुआलजा मुस्तहिक अफराद को फी सबिलिल्लाह फराहम कर रहा है गरीब खानदानों और यतीम बच्चों के लिए माली इमदाद दी जाती है
With your help we can save lives, educate and help reduce poverty.
आप अपनी ज़कात सदका और खैरात ट्रस्ट को देकर इस कार खैर में अपना हिस्सा डालें
For more info call on 077 251 5561 or visit muslimtrust.org.uk.
إعلان عاجل لسائقي سيارات الأجرة وسيارات الأجرة الخاصة وسيارات هاكني كاريج مستر كومبنسيتر يدفع 2000 جنيه كتعويض لطالبي التعويض لسيارات الأجرة سيارات البرستيج وسيارات الدفع الرباعي بسبب الحوادث التعويض مضمون بنسبة 100% خدمتنا متوفرة طيلة 24 ساعة على 7 أيام اتصل بنا الآن على الهاتف رقم 0114-386-3386 التعويضات تنطبق على سيارات الأجرة فقط كل ذلك وفقا للشروط والأحكام.
This is your local community station, Iman FM on 103.1 FM.
सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ वकार आप समाअत फरमा रहे हैं रेडियो ईमान 103.1 FM योर वॉइस योर चॉइस आपकी आवाज़ आपका इंतखाब और मैं हूं आपका भाई आपका पेशकार आपका मेज़बान राजा खुशनूद खान और पेश करता हूं प्रोग्राम मसला क्या है हर जुमेरात शाम 6 बजे से 8 बजे और आप देख भी रहे हैं ईमान टीवी ऑनलाइन सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ वकार बहुत अच्छे मसले पे बात हो रही है और चौधरी मोहम्मद साबर हुसैन फरमा रहे हैं कि हम इस माशरे में ज़्यादा घुलते मिलते नहीं हैं और इसमें जो इंज़माम है वो बड़ा ज़रूरी है लेकिन मैं इनसे एक सवाल करूँगा कि इंज़माम जो है जैसे कि मैं पहले कह चुका हूँ दो तरफ़ा ट्रैफिक है और जो सफ़ेद फार्म कम्युनिटी है वो क्या इस सिलसिले में हमारे साथ क्या वो इंज़माम की कोशिशें कर रहे हैं या घुलने मिलने की कोशिशें कर रहे हैं
I'll be honest with you because at the moment the way we associate with the wider community either through work or a few community projects and it needs to be beyond that really and sometimes if you go into the community projects and some professionals they always make an effort to come to you. I noticed I've been standing in one place and they have come up and said how are you and they start conversation and they bring you into conversation and that's the type of thing that we need to do, greet people and bring them into conversation slowly steadily and respect and that's why we don't have skills and we don't really we only talk to the one we know and what we talk to them say hello how you doing all right that's it and or whether's good bad and I say walk away but we need to be more associating and more understanding and alhamdulillah it will happen but there are minority they go blinkers on and we have some minority as well so they have extreme views so you have to disregard all the bad ones but go for the major common good causes and work together
बहुत खूब सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ वकार आप समाअत फरमा रहे हैं रेडियो ईमान और ईमान टीवी ऑनलाइन और मैं चाहूँगा सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ वकार कि आप अपनी आरा से हमें आगाह करें और अपनी आरा से आगाह करने के लिए फ़ोन नंबर दबाना पड़ता है या बोलना पड़ता है 01142425 नंबर दोहराए देता हूँ 01142425 और सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ वकार बहुत ही अहम बात हो रही है अगर आप इस बात पे इस मौजू पे अगर तनकीद करना चाहते हैं तारीफ़ करना चाहते हैं तबसरा करना चाहते हैं या तस्करा करना चाहते हैं या तायद करना चाहते हैं ते जी 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 तो आप बराए करम फ़ोन कीजिए और फ़ोन के लिए आजकल बड़े अच्छे डील्स मिल रहे हैं फ़ोन के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट से पे भी लिहाजा थोड़ा सा खर्चा कम्युनिटी को मालूमात देने में खर्च करने से इज्तनाब ना करें ज़रूर अपना फ़ोन जो है हमें करें और अपनी आरा से अपने मशवरों से हमें नवाजें मैं अब भाई मोहम्मद साबर से पूछूंगा चौधरी साबर हुसैन साहब ये फरमाइए कि जो मैं मैंने निकाला आपकी सारी गुफ्तगू का वो ये है कि हमें अपने जो अमाल हैं फ़ाल हैं उससे और अपनी सरगर्मियों से दूसरी कम्युनिटी के साथ मुस्तकिल मिजाजी से जो है वो तावन करना चाहिए और सरगर्मियों में हिस्सा लेना चाहिए
Definitely if you look at Brother Abdul Qadir Gurjar is excellent example and he works with the all faith groups and if you listen to his radio programs that's what he's saying work with the humanity and as myself and yourself we went to Kendal to pick up from a medical equipment bedding and a lot of other stuff from church
and would you tell our listeners and our viewers who you went with to Kendal please
I went with Raja Khushoon Sahab
Oh, that's me. Thank you very
much. And it was a long drive. It wasn't 50 miles, it was 120 miles.
That is correct.
Yes.
It initially initially we were going to go somewhere in Ripon. And, but it's
navigation took us further.
That's right.
Why it was, this is the Abdul Qadir Gurjar. That is a community integration. That is a community cohesion. And their people there, they were all Christians. Yeah. And from the church, we loaded the van up with medical equipment and everything, and they didn't said that is a Muslim charity we're not contributing to. They gave it as a humanity, and they received us with respect and pleasure. And they didn't come to Rotherham, Sheffield and say, we donated you, we didn't this for you. Because problem that we have, when we do something, we need to be glorifying and make a point that we did something for somebody. No, that is against Islam, that you are only given what Allah Ta'ala has given you. You have no right to gloat and manipulate in front of other people. That's why a lot of charities, I see them, they go in Pakistan and they say, we're giving you this. And they shouldn't do that, because these people पहले तो गुर्बत से उनकी कफालत करें, लेकिन किसी को पता नहीं चले.
पर उसकी वजह यह है कि ये जो खैराती अदारे हैं उन्हें चूंकि वो चंदों और अतियात पे उनकी गुज़र-औक़ात होती है, तो आपने जो अतिया देने वाले लोग हैं उन्हें भी आगाह करना पड़ता है कि वो कौन से जो काम है, खैराती काम है, उनमें वो
No, it's okay, you have to give the feedback to the people that what you don't really, but sometime there are, if you look at disaster emergency committee, that's a center. When major disaster takes place anywhere in the world, the government have got that central point, and that money goes in there, and they pass the money over to the reputable organisation working on the grounds. What we're doing, I'm not criticising, but our way of doing things is different, because if one family relief is working in Syria, Minaj is working in Pakistan, the money should, disaster time, you carry on working on your own individually, there's no problem. But when a major disaster comes in, then we shouldn't pull out the families relief from Syria to work in disaster in Pakistan.
What you're saying is that we should be pooling our resources and
sharing.
Yeah, sharing and delivering the services and relief.
Yeah, because that's more cost effective, and also it's working like a combined humanity as unity. If you do individually, then it costs us more, and the people in need, they don't receive enough. And come away from that, because ourselves, if you look at we go Rotherham Hospice on Broome Road. Yeah. When our elderly parents, they are unable to move on the end of time, difficult to maintain at home or in hospital, they take them into there. And there's a lot of Christian charities fund that. As we Muslims, do we do it? No. And we only think our duty is with the Muslim will. It doesn't lie with the Muslim will. We should be working for whole humanity. That is, Islam stands for whole lot.
True Islam, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, dear listeners of Radio Iman and viewers of Iman TV Online. What Brother Sabr Hussain is saying, and what I'm deducing from his conversation, is that we need positive integration, and he cited the very wonderful Mr. Sheikh Abdul Qadir not Gilani, Guljar, Abdul Qadir Guljar, and I'm mistakenly calling him Abdul Qadir Jilani, but he is very much respected amongst all communities, whether it's Christian community, Hindu community or Muslim community, and that is because of the wonderful work he's doing. So thank you for citing the example of Mr. Sheikh Abdul Guljar. I was going to call him Qadir again, Sheikh Abdul Qadir Guljar. And I have the privilege and honor of being one of his ambassadors. And yes, we are blessed with a wonderful personality like this. Are there any other examples you can cite where we can bring about integration?
There's a lot of the things that we have within ourselves as a Muslim. We have a lot of issues we need to tackle as well, and because there are things that have been portrayed over the years as different sects of Islam, different thought of a school, we need to come to common ground. We can believe whatever, follow the sort of school, that's no issue. But the thing is, you got to put humanity before religion, because if पहले इंसान है फिर मुसलमान है.
बिल्कुल मैं जो आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ, what I'm asking you is, are there any examples, positive examples of integration which you have witnessed during the last year, few months?
Well, I have, as I said, my family, my children on both sides, and the families on both sides, they're well integrated, they well respect each other. They see as relations as we'd see in our own Pakistani families. And because we don't see no division, we don't see no colour. Because I myself, we see a person, we don't see colours. Exactly the other side, they see you as a person, they don't see you as a colour. They're proud of us. They're proud of what my one side of family is doing. The other side is proud of the other side is doing. And I'll give you an example because I have a stepdaughter and she has a daughter. And a few years ago, she's in school and obviously there's because the media portrayal and general public think the Muslims are evil and bad, because we haven't done our job. We never came out and condemning things. Right. We never came out and this is not Islamic. Because we didn't know what to do and we never learned how to do things. Now we are coming out and we're making a difference.
I will beg to differ with you. Despite Muslims doing positive things, the mass media still paints a very negative image of Muslims.
Yeah, because what it is, we're still shrinking. If we were come out strong and united with the community, mass media will fail. Because we don't do our job. If you, as I said, stop against racism, when the people stood for the Muslims never stood for themselves. And then you expect the media to be shut about you. No, it doesn't work. If you would have been out there, media will be defeated without any haggle.
I would cite you one or two examples of positive things that Muslims are doing, and I happen to be associated with one organization that you've supported for a while as well, and that's RFID, Rotherham Friends Indeed, that has been working for over a year to feed the homeless brothers and sisters from the Christian community, plus Radio Iman and other Muslim organizations that help our brothers and sisters in the north when the floods took place in Cumbria. So
I'll be honest with you.
Would you see these things as positive things, as things that help integration?
Yeah, there was excellent movement, but problem was the community still failed not to see it because they think Britain's got enough money and they should manage it. No, they have money, but they don't have enough to help the disasters immediately. And we did a collection for Cumbria. I would have expected we Muslims should have participated more than we should have. I know there's a lot of youngsters and a lot of young charities work there tirelessly. And that's why we need to be forefront. And we need to be helping them when the people need them. When the people in very desperate need, you are just there and risking your life alongside with them, that's why they trust you and that's why they want to accept you. But problem is, when they're struggling and you don't be there, when you're struggling, they come to your aid. That's one way it doesn't work. Because if you have had an accident, they don't care who had an accident. If the helicopter needed, they'll fetch a helicopter. I had a relation who had an accident, car rolled over on dual carriageway, and our ambulance immediately landed there. They took him to hospital and saved him. So they don't look a colour, but we don't. We're very complacent.
Right. Well, take it easy. You don't need to be so aggressive, that you're hitting the mic. But, thank you. But, I cited 2 or 3 examples of positive integration, things that help integration. What you're saying is that we need to be, as Muslims, we need to be consistent, we need to be proactive in helping, aiding, and assisting those people who are in need, fighting shoulder to shoulder with our brothers and sisters from the
wider community.
From the wider community when they're fighting against an injustice. I remember saying these things 40 years ago, but it went through deaf ears from one ear to another and out of another ear. But now I think things are taking place. Wouldn't you agree?
If they are taking place, it's a good thing to do, but it will take time to get things there. It needs to take place, it needs to take more. But we don't want to be rushing something and do something that, if you do too fast, then you're deceiving them. Such an example, if any protest taking place against the racism or such as the atrocities that we had on week Friday, and we should be coming out straight away immediately, and that's the time you need to be. If any disaster happens anywhere, like our youngsters in Cumbria, they helped charities, we need to go. We don't just leave it for youngsters to do that, because they are very active and everything, but they don't have the resources. And there's a lot of young imams, they worked quite tirelessly as well, but they don't have no resources. And masjids, they have a lot of resources, they have a lot of voice, but for some reason they don't know what to do, and that we have to educate everybody how to understand, how to stand up for yourself and help other humanity. You help humanity, things will happen in the best.
Thank you very much for that. You help humanity and things will happen for the best. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, dear viewers, dear listeners, you are listening to Iman TV Online, Iman Radio on 103.1 FM, your voice, your choice, and you are viewing Iman TV Online. And I am your presenter, your host, Raja Khushoon Khan, and I present the program called Masla Kya Hai every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And Masla Kya Hai means what is the problem, what is the issue. And my esteemed guest, Chaudhry Mohammad Sabir Hussain, has been eloquently advocating that we play a proactive role in helping, assisting, working with our brothers and sisters from the wider community to tackle issues that confront all of us. And yes, this is self-analysis. This is to a degree self-criticism, but it is to waken people up in order to increase awareness.
I'll give you an example. There was something happened last year, and I criticized that exactly. Same thing, because it was Mother's Day, and there were a lot of organizations Islamically, they were doing project, and they were criticizing. I said, you should not criticize. हमारे वालिदैन जो बीमार होते हैं तो यही सोसाइटी हमारी उनको संभालती है. तो what happened in reverse, instead of still doing Mother's Day, not to criticize and praise the mothers, वो program भी खत्म कर दिया है उन्होंने. We got one extreme to another, really. Yeah. Mother's Day बनाना, मस्जिद में तरबियत देना, बच्चों को अच्छे करना, that's brilliant. उनको जगह माँ का बाप का एहतराम सिखाना ये अच्छा प्रोग्राम होना चाहिए, लेकिन किसी और को क्रिटिसाइज नहीं करना चाहिए.
बिल्कुल दुरुस्त है. ये हमारा मज़हब दीन मतीन भी यही कहता है कि दूसरे मज़हब की तनकीद ना करो, बल्कि उन और आप में जो मुश्तरका अक़दार हैं उन पे बात करें.
लेकिन दूसरे जो हमारी जो बरतानिया की गवर्नमेंट है, सिस्टम है, इसमें बहुत खूबियाँ हैं. एक साथी आज मुझे मिले थे और मैं नाम नहीं ले रहा हूँ, वो ब्रिटिश सिटीजन ले रहे थे, तो कहते हैं फीस इनकी
ब्रिटिश सिटीजनशिप
जी वो उनको मिल गई है, लेकिन वो फॉर्म फिल करना था और कहते हैं कि वो अब 1200 पाउंड कीमत हो गई है. मैं कुछ और मुल्क भी हैं जिनकी फ्री है, कोई जाता ही नहीं है. ये वैल्यू है ना मुल्क की.
सही दुरुस्त मज़ाक फरमा रहे हैं. चौधरी मोहम्मद साबिर हुसैन साहब, मैं बड़ा शुक्रगुजार हूँ, ममनून हूँ, मशकूर हूँ, और जैसा कि मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ मकरूज़ हूँ आपका. लेकिन ये जो मेरे जीवकार सामीन और नाजरीन हैं, आज उन्हें क्या हो गया?
नहीं,
आज को नींद की गोलियां उन्होंने खा ली हैं.
नहीं, मैं सोचता था कि आज मेरी शामत होगी, लेकिन बच निकला हूँ.
अच्छा, मैं इसीलिए मैं कह रहा था कि आपकी शामत करने के लिए कोई ना कोई कॉलर जो है
नहीं, मैं खूब तेल लगा के आया था आज. नहीं, मेरा कोशिश है कि किसी की तजलील नहीं करनी, लेकिन एक गाइडेंस है कि एक दो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इस मसले को हल नहीं कर सकती. हमें एक यूनाइटेड हमारे खामियां हैं उसको दूर करना है, लेकिन दुश्मन हमारा मुतफिक है, लेकिन हम टूटे हुए हैं. हमें इत्तेफाक होना चाहिए. एक कोई अच्छा काम कर रहा है, बिस्मिल्लाह उसकी सपोर्ट करें, उसको क्रिटिसाइज ना करें. हाँ, अगर उसके करने का तरीका गलत है तो उसको दुरुस्त करें, ट्रेनिंग दें. जैसे कि मैं मस्जिद की खिदमत कर रहा था, पहले से कुछ लोग कोशिश में थे कि इस कोई मिस्टेक करे तो उसको उठा के फेंक दो बाहर. अब मैं क्या सोचता हूँ, अगर यंग जनरेशन आगे फॉरवर्ड आए तो अगर कोई मिस्टेक करें तो हम उन्हें गाइड करेंगे, उन्हें अकोमोडेट करेंगे, उनकी मिस्टेक को दुरुस्त करेंगे. हाँ, एक आदमी बार बार सेम मिस्टेक करता है तो फिर उससे माजरत मांगनी पड़ती है, लेकिन कोई मिस्टेक से बगैर सीख नहीं सकता.
बिल्कुल बजा फरमा रहे हैं कि गलतियों के बगैर इंसान सीख नहीं सकता, सुधर नहीं सकता, और गलतियां हम सबसे होती हैं, औलिया अल्लाह से भी गलतियां होती हैं. सिर्फ गलतियों से जो महफूज हैं, गलतियों से जो महफूज हैं वो अंबिया अलैहिमुस्सलाम थे और हैं. चूँकि जो अंबिया अलैहिमुस्सलाम हैं वो आयात हैं, वो ज़िंदा होते हैं, सिर्फ इस दुनिया से पर्दा फरमा जाते हैं. सामीन और नाज़रीन अज़ीज़ वक़ार, आप समात फरमा रहे हैं और बहुत सा प्रोग्राम जो है वो आप समात फरमा चुके हैं और देख चुके हैं, और बड़ी दिलचस्प गुफ्तगू और बड़ा दिलचस्प मौजू था. लेकिन आज चौधरी मोहम्मद साबिर हुसैन ने आपको मैं समझता हूँ ख्वाब आवर गोलियां खिला दी हैं और इसी वजह से कोई कॉलर नहीं आया शुक्रगुजार मशकूर ममनून और मकरूज़ हूँ मोहम्मद शफाकत साहब का और राजा साहब साजिद साहब का और जैसा कि मैं पहले कह चुका हूँ कि शुक्रगुजार हूँ हमीदुर रहमान साहब का जिन्होंने बहुत सी अच्छी बातों से मुझे नवाजा था और जो अपने पेशकारों और मेज़बानों की क्वार्टरली मीटिंग थी सहमाई मीटिंग थी रेडियो ईमान की पिछले मंगल को उसमें एक तो दिलचस्प मालूमात और जो ऑफ काम है उसके नए क़वानीन से भी हमें आगाह किया गया और उसके बाद अच्छी पुरतकल्लफ़ जो तवाज़ा थी खुराक थी खाने थे उनसे हमें महसूस किया गया हमें खिलाए गए और ये खाने हमें खिलाए थे और हमारे खाने तैयार किए थे मीरपुरी तवा ने और मीरपुरी तवा वालों के खानों का क्या कहना है मज़ेदार थे और वो जो गोश्त है वो मुझे ख्वाबों में भी याद आता है और किसी दिन वहाँ मैं ज़रूर जाऊँगा सामीन और नाज़रीन जी वकार अगर आपको कोई बात पसंद हो या नापसंद हो तो आप हमारे साथ रब्ता कर सकते हैं जैसा कि मैं बार-बार कह चुका हूँ हमें आपकी आरा से आपके मशवरों से आपकी तनकीद असलाह से तभी पता चलेगा जब आप फ़ोन करेंगे हमें इल्हाम नहीं होगा लिहाजा अगर आप आइंदा प्रोग्रामों में अब मैं कोई कॉल नहीं लूँगा अगर आइंदा किसी भी मौजू पे बातचीत हो रही हो तो मैं चाहूँगा कि आप फ़ोन करें आज तो चौधरी मोहम्मद साबिर हुसैन ने आपको ख्वाब आवर गोलियां खिला दी हैं या कोई साजिश लगती है आज कोई कॉलर जो है फ़ोन पे नहीं आया
राज साहब एक बात कह दूँ मुझे बोलने का तरीका नहीं था अच्छा जो बच्चे थे मैंने सोचा उनको डेवलप करूं लेकिन उनको डेवलप करने के लिए मैंने खुद घर में उनको ट्रेनिंग दी ट्रेनिंग ऐसे दी कि वो बोला करते थे मैं उनको करेक्ट करता था मुझे फिर भी बोलना नहीं आता था लेकिन अब मैंने सोचा कि बच्चे तो तैयार हो चुके हैं मैंने अपने आप को कैसे तैयार करना है फिर मैंने ईमान रेडियो को फ़ोन किया करता था कॉल इन अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह फ्रॉम दैट आई हैव डेवलप्ड एंड बिट ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आज कुछ महीनों से आपके साथ यहाँ बैठा हूँ लेकिन दुआ करें अल्लाह ताला हमेशा के लिए बेहतरी करे लेकिन ऐसा ना हो कहीं ताला बंद कमरे में ना लको जो
नहीं कोई नहीं हमारे सामीन और नाज़रीन जो हैं बड़े मोअज़्ज़ज़ हैं और महज़ब हैं और इख्तिलाफ़ राय का जो है वो एहतराम भी करते हैं और आपने कोई ऐसी ख़ास ऐसी बात नहीं की जो किसी की जिससे किसी की तज़लील या तज़ीक जो मतलूब हो या मकसूद हो आप की कोशिश ये है मैं आपको अरसा दराज से जानता हूँ कि आपकी कोशिश ये है कि अपनी कम्युनिटी का जो मकाम है जो इज़्ज़त है वो उसे मिलनी चाहिए लेकिन उसके लिए हमें मुतहर्रिक होना चाहिए होना होगा और सरगर्म होना होगा
राज साहब जो जब फार राइट सेक्स पहले शुरू हुए थे 1977 में 76 में उस वक्त हम छोटे बच्चे थे और सैटरडे एवरी सैटरडे यूज्ड टू बी प्रोटेस्ट इन रॉदरम टाउन सेंटर एंड असी उस वक्त अंदर से बाहर नहीं से निकले थे सैटरडे को घर में रहते थे और आई कैन रिमेंबर सुनते थे ना खबर हमारे जो कुछ बुजुर्ग थे वो आपके साथ जाया करते थे लेकिन कहते थे राजा खुशून साहब ने बहुत ज़ोर शोर किया अरेस्ट हो गए सब कुछ लेकिन 41 years on you still as we've been together in squares many times लेकिन हमें किसी ने कोई खाया नहीं है लेकिन इस मारे कि हक सच के लिए आपको खड़ा होना पड़ता है शायद आपको जेल में जाना पड़े लेकिन सच के लिए आपको हमेशा डट के रहना चाहिए अल्लाह ताला की इस्तकामत आपको मिलती है
बेशक दुरुस्त फरमा रहे हैं कि सच के लिए आपको इकट्ठा होना चाहिए और सच के लिए आपको बोलना चाहिए और सच के लिए खड़ा होना चाहिए और मैं शुक्रगुजार हूँ आपका और अपने दोस्तों साथियों का कि जो पिछले 41 बरसों से साथ निभा रहे हैं और आज हमारी कम्युनिटी काबिल हुई है कि अपने ख़िलाफ़ अगर कोई नाइंसाफ़ी होती है तो उसके ख़िलाफ़ वो मुनज़्ज़म हो जाते हैं मुतहद हो जाते हैं और अपने हकूक़ को अपनी जिम्मेदारियों को भी समझते हैं और अपने हकूक़ को भी समझते हैं और हमेशा रेडियो ईमान की के प्लेटफॉर्म से हमारी कोशिश यही है कि हकूक़ का भी मुतालबा करें लेकिन जिम्मेदारियां भी निभाएं
दूसरा 1 मिनट और ले लूँगा आपसे मुझे स्टॉप द रेसिज्म मैक्सिन बॉलर ने टेक्स्ट किया था 2 हफ्ते पहले
आधा मिनट है फिर
she texted me if we can put a coach from to protest in London from mosque but मैंने किसी को बताया ना था मुझे पता था कि कोई भी नहीं आएगा तो we need to change our rhetoric because I myself have been to London on coaches and protested against Iraq war and things like that we need to motivate we need to stand
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया चौधरी मोहम्मद साबिर हुसैन साहब आपका मैं शुक्रगुजार मशकूर ममनून और मकरूज़ हूँ और मैं ये अल्फाज जो है इस्तेमाल करता रहूँगा मकरूज़ का चूँकि अंग्रेज़ी में इंडक्टेड कहते हैं आई एम इंडक्टेड टू यू फॉर योर व्यूज़ फॉर टॉकिंग सो vociferously and eloquently on our responsibilities to integrate positively in this society and with the wider community. Dear listeners, the next program is the Revival Show with the one and only history man Matloob Hussain Ali Khan. Till next week, Allah Hafiz, God bless you.
Your voice, your choice. You're listening to Iman FM.
इंसानी जिंदगियों को जुल्मत के अंधेरों से निकालकर रोशनी की मिराज पर ले जाने का जरिया ये औलिया कराम हैं इन्हीं औलिया कराम के हालात व वाक़यात पे मबनी प्रोग्राम अल्लाह के सफीर शाहिद शबीर चौधरी के साथ हर बुध की दोपहर 2 बजे सिर्फ रेडियो ईमान 103.1 FM पर
For a reliable, professional and quality immigration